Hey, welcome to The Explainer. As we close the book on 2025, the financial world is basically a tale of two cities. So today, we're going to break down why stocks are absolutely booming while crypto is stuck in a deep freeze and what it all really means for 2026.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. Look at this. As 2025 is wrapping up, you couldn't have two more different markets. On one side, you've got traditional stocks having this massive Santa Claus rally, just hitting new record after new record. And then on the other side, total opposite. The crypto world is in a deep, deep bear market, feeling a serious winter chill.
And when you look at the numbers, man, this contrast just jumps right off the page. The S&P 500 is up a very healthy 18% for the year, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq is just crushing it, up over 22%. But crypto? Yikes. The total market has been hammered, down a staggering 30% from where it was back in October.
So you gotta ask, right? What is going on here? Why are these two worlds moving in completely opposite directions? Well, it's not just one thing. To really get it, we need to unpack three big ideas that are shaping everything right now.
All right, first up, the big economic picture. The foundation for all of this. And the general feeling out there is one of, well, cautious optimism.
So the good news is, most of the big players think the global economy is on pretty solid ground. Goldman Sachs, for example, is projecting what they're calling sturdy 2.8% growth for 2026. Now that's not going to blow the doors off, but it signals real stability.
And here in the US, that inflation story we've all been watching? Well, it's finally starting to cool off. JP Morgan thinks it'll settle down, though it might stay a little bit sticky in that upper 2% range. So yeah, it's still a bit hotter than what the Fed wants, but the key thing is, the arrow is pointing in the right direction.
And this is absolutely crucial, because that improving inflation picture has given the Federal Reserve the green light to start what they call an easing cycle, which is just a fancy way of saying they're cutting interest rates. They started back in the fall of 2025, and we're expecting more. This makes borrowing money cheaper for companies, which is basically like hitting the gas for the stock market.
So we've got this nice economic tailwind. But what's the real engine, the jet fuel pushing stocks to these crazy new heights? Well, that brings us to our second theme, the AI engine room.
The answer, in two little letters, is AI. The amount of money being poured into artificial intelligence has been just astronomical. JP Morgan put it perfectly when they said it's become the major driver of what businesses are spending money on to grow.
And the scale of this spending, it's just off the charts. Capital expenditure on AI, we're talking data centers, specialized chips, the whole shebang. It shot up an insane 69% in 2025. Just look at that first bar. And for 2026, it's still forecasted to grow another massive 33%.
And this isn't just numbers on a spreadsheet, right? We're talking about massive, game-changing deals. A perfect example is Nvidia buying up $20 billion in assets from the AI chip designer Groq. This wasn't just a shopping trip, it was a massive chess move. It shows you just how intense this corporate arms race for AI dominance has really become. So while the AI party is raging in the stock market, crypto is having a completely different kind of year. We're not talking about a collapse, but a fundamental reset, and it's all being driven by regulation.
Honestly, 2025 is going to go down in the books as the year of the great cleanup for crypto. For years, it was like the Wild West, right? But now, we're seeing this huge, coordinated push from governments all over the world to finally lay down the law and bring some structure to the industry.
But here's the thing you have to understand. This isn't about killing crypto. The real goal here is to build a safer playground. The hope is that by cleaning things up, the big kids, the banks, the pension funds, the huge corporations, will finally feel comfortable enough to come and play with their money.
And this slide really breaks it down for you. International bodies like the Financial Action Task Force are all focused on the same things. It's about getting everyone on the same page with the rules, fighting the bad guys who use crypto for crime, and, really importantly, making sure regular investors like you and me don't get burned.
And believe me, this isn't just a bunch of talk. It happened everywhere, and it happened fast in 2025. You had Europe's new rules kick in. The SEC in the US launched Project Crypto to get things clear. Hong Kong rolled out new stablecoin rules. South Korea even started a pilot for big-time institutional trading. The whole space is growing up, fast.
So, with all that as a backdrop, what does 2026 look like? Well, it all comes down to a few really big questions.
Okay, for stocks and AI, the question is simple. Is this going to pay off?
All this money getting poured into AI, is it actually going to lead to real, tangible profits? Or was it all just hype? 2026 is basically put up or shut up time.
And for crypto, it's the same kind of deal. We've got all these new rules, this new clarity. So the question is, was that enough? Is this the moment the big institutional money that's been sitting on the sidelines finally says, okay, we're in?
And then there's the big one, for the whole global economy. Can this Goldilocks moment last? Not too hot, not too cold, just right. Can we keep this perfect balance of steady growth and cooling inflation going for another year?
These are the questions that are going to define the year ahead. And honestly, the answers will tell us if we're gearing up for a brand new boom or if the music's about to stop and the party's finally over.